Hello, sixth graders. My name is Suzana Anić-Antić, and I will be your teacher today. The topic of today's lesson is science. More precisely, what is science? In this lesson, the student will describe pictures by making observations, conclusions, predictions, and classifications in speaking and in writing. For this lesson, you will need internet access, a laptop, tablet or mobile phone, a notebook and a pencil or a pen, and a code reader. Let's watch the video together and find the answer to the question, what is science? Carl, the scientist in the video, mentioned some words when he talked about scientific method. Do you remember which words he mentioned? Observe, infer, predict, classify, make models, and communicate. I'm sure you are familiar with some of these words, but not all of them. And I think that it is very important for today's lesson that you understand, that you are sure what these words actually mean. So let's try to translate them together. Observe. What does that mean? When you notice things around you. Yes, promatrati. Then we have the word infer. This one is a bit trickier. What do you think it means? Zaključiti. Right. Then we have predict. I'm sure you know what this means. Predvidjeti. Right. After that, we have a word classify. When you put things into groups or categories. Razvrstati. Then we have make models. This one is easy, right? Izraditi maketu ili model nečega. And the last one, communicate. We all know what that means. Prenijeti ideju ili informaciju. We also say komunicirati in Croatian. How do we observe the world around us? We and the scientists as well. Well, we use our 5 senses. The sense of seeing, smelling, feeling or touching, hearing, and of course, tasting. So if I show you this picture, what do your eyes tell you? What do you see? And I will give you some help. Green. What do you observe? The bike is green. Very good. What about smell? Here is the picture. What do you see? Flowers, right. How do they smell? If I give you the word sweet, what do you observe? The flowers smell sweet. Great. What do you feel? A cute little bunny. If you touch a bunny, what do you feel? Here is a word that can help you. What do you observe? The bunny is soft. What do you hear? Oh, we can see some people here, right? What are they doing? They are clapping. So what do you hear? What do you observe? The audience is clapping. And what is this? Chili pepper. What do you taste if you take a bite? Spicy or hot, right? So what do you observe? The chili pepper is spicy or hot. Let's move to the next word, inferring. Do you remember what this word means? To infer? Yes, it means заключити. So by looking at the picture in the slide, what can you infer? So there is a cat, there is a desk, there is a broken vase, and some water. Now we can't be sure what really happened, but we can infer. So what do you infer? All right, this is what I inferred. The cat broke the vase. Let's infer some more, but this time we won't be using pictures, but words. Jennifer hears her mailbox close and her dog is barking. What can you infer from this situation? I will give you a moment to think about it and to come up with your answer. And this is what I have inferred. The postman delivered the mail. All right, let's do another one. John hears a smoke alarm next door and smells burnt bacon. What can you infer? Take a moment, think about it. And this is what I have inferred. His neighbor burned his breakfast. Another thing a scientist does is classifying. You remember, what is classifying? It means putting things or objects or words into groups according to a certain category. So let's see, how can we classify Lego blocks? In this example, we will classify them in the groups bricks, plates, color, and size. As we said earlier, we can classify different things around us, and objects, and even animals. So let's see, I will just remind you now of the names of the animals, and then later on, you will try to classify them by yourselves. All right, so we have a duck, a rooster, a hare, which is what? A wild rabbit, right? This bird, a swallow, a hen, a stork, an owl, a cute little hedgehog, and a turkey. It's your turn now. If you follow the link on the slide, bit.ly/uclassify, or scan the code, it will take you to a game where you will have to classify the animals that we've just mentioned. So I would like you now please to stop this video, follow the link, or scan the code, and play the game. The next thing the scientist does is predicting. Do you remember predicting? To predict, it means predvidjeti, right? So prediction, it says here, is what you believe will happen. Now, what does a scientist in his thinking do before predicting? Well, first, of course, he does observations. He observes the world around him. And then he predicts. Actually, he makes a hypothesis. And if his hypothesis is true, then he predicts he will discover something. And what is hypothesis? Well, it is the answer that you think you will find. How do you see if your hypothesis is right? You use a tool that is called experiment. I'm sure you are aware of what experiment is. You use experiment to answer your question. And when you do that, you come to a conclusion. Conclusion is the answer that the experiment gives. So what we have on this slide is actually the process of scientific thinking. Here is the example of how the scientist thinks. We will use gummy bears in science experiment. Here it goes. What is the prediction? If I put a gummy bear in tap water, it will swell. If I put a gummy bear in salt water, it will shrink or shrivel. So that is the prediction. And now the hypothesis. Do you remember what the hypothesis is? It is the answer that you think you will find. All right. So let's see what is the answer that we think we will find. The gummy bear in tap water swells. Why? Because water enters it. That is our hypothesis. That is what we think the answer is. And in the next case, the gummy bear in salty water shrinks because of the osmosis. You remember osmosis from the last year's science lessons? I'm sure you do. If you follow this link or scan the code on the slide, it will take you to a YouTube video where you will see the experiment with gummy bears in tap and salty water. So please stop this video now, go to YouTube video. You can stop the YouTube video after 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Were we right? Was our hypothesis correct? If you want to try and do the experiment yourself, I invite you to follow the link bit.ly/gummybearx or scan the code, and it will take you to a page with the instructions which you can follow and do the experiment. And if you want to know more, if you want to know what happens to gummy bears in sweet water, then visit the link bit.ly/gummybearx1 or scan the code and see what happens with gummy bears in sweet water, or even better, you try it. So stop this video now and have fun. In a nutshell, or to recap, to revise what we have learned so far. Let's imagine that there was a plant in a dark room for 6 months. So I put a plant into a dark room for 6 months. Shall we think like scientists? All right. What is our hypothesis? Think. Exactly. The plant will die. What can we predict? What is our prediction? If a plant stops receiving sunlight, it will die. All right. Now let's use observation and inference, conclusion, to analyze this situation. What was our observation when we saw the plant? Think. What do we observe? The plant died, right. And what do you infer based on your observation? What do you conclude? Well, plants die without sunlight. Excellent. All right. Now, I would like you to stop this video now, follow the link or scan the code, and you will come to a quiz game where you will be able to check how well you understand the method of scientific thinking involving observation, inference, and prediction. Another step in scientific method is communication. Scientists must be able to communicate his findings to other people, to audience. Therefore, it is very important for him to communicate well. What is communication? It is sending, receiving, and understanding a message. Let's see how well I can communicate with you. Let me show you an example. I'm a home for royalty. There are many of me in England. I am made of stone. I am protected by a ring of water. I am found in many legends. What am I? Am I communicating this well to you? Can you guess? Do you understand what I'm talking about? Maybe you need some more help, like a picture. Is it easier now? What am I? Yes, I am a castle. All right, let's play another one. I am popular for winter sports. I can be very dangerous. You can go up or down me. I get colder as you go higher. Don't forget your safety gear. How well did I communicate this? Can you guess what I am? Let me show you a picture. Is it better now? What is it? It is a mountain. We have translated the words that scientists uses in scientific method. We have tried to be a scientist, and now let's try to match the words with their English definition. Let's see how well you can do that. So I prepared the game for you, and if you scan the code on the slide or follow the link bit.ly/smethod, it will take you to a game where you will check how well you can define words, communicate, observe, infer, and so on in English. So I would like you to stop this video now, go to follow this link or scan the code and play the game. Our next task is to use the words communicating, observations, predictions, infer, make a model, and classify in sentences. So let's read the first one together. When you hear a dog bark or smell smoke, you are making what? Yes, observations. Very good. Next, if you hear a rooster crowing while you're asleep in bed, you that the sun has come up and it is early morning. What do you do? Yes, you infer. All right, let's move on. Weather forecasts are making about what the weather will be like later today, tomorrow, or next week. Which word goes here? Very good. Predictions. Biologists animals and plants into different groups. What do they do? Yes, very good. They classify them. It is easier to understand how planets circle around the sun if you of a solar system that you can touch. Yes, make a model. Perfect. And the last one, of course, it's quite easy now. Every day you talk to friends, listen to what other people have to say, and write messages. That means that reading, writing, speaking, and listening are all part of communicating. Excellent. Well done, everyone. It's your turn again to think like a scientist. Take a look at the three pictures: a ball, a doctor, and a leg. Look at the leg. What's wrong? So, look at the pictures, all three of them, and please answer the following questions. What can you observe? What can you infer? And what can you predict will happen next? So, stop this video now, open your notebooks, and do the task. Before you send in your answers to the teacher, please go through this checklist to make sure that you have done everything right. So make sure that you can write at least 3 things you noticed by looking at the pictures, that you can infer what is happening, and that you can predict what will happen in the future. It's time to reflect what you have learned in today's lesson. I would like you to write down in your notebooks what you remember from today's lesson. It can be a sentence or a word or a feeling. So I just need you to take a moment to reflect, think about the lesson, and write down what stuck with you from today's lesson. So please stop this video now and do the task. And finally, fun time. If you follow the link bit.ly/thinklike or scan the code, it will take you to a YouTube video with a very amusing song. If you sing along with the song and if you listen to it maybe 2 times or 3 times, you will revise some of the things that we have learned in today's lesson. I hope you have fun. That's all from me today. See you soon. Goodbye, everyone.